First thing, yep,
Yes, sir.
planning department.
The first thing on the agenda is an exemption request by the Simmons family and the Kennedy family for some property that's just west of Mancus. Drew, if you want to come up.
Mm-hmm.
We insist.
We've been talking to him all around the back room. We've been having quite a conversation with him.
He's my
How you doing?
He's my
Good seeing
planning
you.
Durango friend.
Yep, we know that.
Yeah, they've been giving him some pointers how to speed things up.
Yeah, just yeah.
This has been fun to be able to call you and tell you the process is taking too long. What do I got to do?
Is he doing that to you?
I object.
Did
I don't
he
think it's
did he
been-
get sideways with you?
Yes.
Did he? Well, this is going to
Lippy,
take a
all
lot
kinds of
longer than
things.
you ever planned. A lot longer.
So the property is located just west of Mancus. They're off of 160. There, I can finally see now. So Drew's property basically goes across the highway here. So the Kennedy elevator property is located here. This would be the new property line, which would encompass that. So it would become one tract of land right there, and they would retain. Am I saying this right, Drew?
No,
Okay. Sorry, got a lot of applications.
you're close.
Okay.
Two things going on over there. So the first thing is we want to establish the fence line as the property line. When the surveyor was out there surveying the request for the subdivision, found out for whatever reason that the property line is off a little bit from where the actual fence is. So we want to establish the fence line as the
As the
property
property line,
boundary.
so you're going to make that the new boundary.
Make that the new boundary, and then we would like to separate this, I think it's approximately 17, 18 acres from this side
I
of the
have
highway.
21.
21, okay, 21 acres. From, so, yeah, make the fence the boundary, and then just
And then
make
go
this
through.
a 20 acre and a 80, 78 acre, whatever's left.
But we'll do the exemption first and then go back through and do the subdivision.
Got it.
So the Kennedys are buying that land from you to put into their elevator property?
Actually, I think it's gonna be the other way around.
Oh, you're
The property line, as the surveyor identified it, was a few feet into our property. So we'll have to deed over, no, they'll have to deed over
You.
a few feet of their property to
you.
us
Okay.
to establish the fence line as the boundary.
Boundary line, okay.
But the Kennedy's property was created through an exemption, so we're going to amend that exemption for this P417.
Do you have any problems with this?
No?
Do you have any problems with him?
You can. No.
Not yet, anyway.
Thank you.
Well, it looks like it.
And everything else is in place. I mean, all of the infrastructure is there. There's not any new accesses proposed at this time. Just moving some lines.
I'd move to approve the exemption request by Linda Eldon and Andrew Simmons located at 8621 Road 39, Memphis, Colorado.
Second.
And moved and seconded to approve the exemption request by Linda Eldon and Andrew Simmons at 8621 Road 39, Mancus. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Next one is
Okay.
Linda. Okay,
Am I done?
you're done for now.
Thank you, gentlemen.
You bet.
I will call and harass you later.
Yeah.
He might amend that statement about you, I don't know.
Well, Leanne's been great. I haven't harassed her too much.
Now.
So, minutes before the next one.
We do. So I have a couple things.
Okay.
I have been in contact with the sheriff's office and their drug task force in regards to doing a marijuana hemp 101 presentation for us, because as the laws are changing, it's getting harder and harder for us to respond to people. I'm sending a lot of people to John. I get a lot of calls in that regard. It was scheduled for tomorrow at 1:30. But I asked them if they could move it to the 24th of April at 1:30, just to come, and it'll be a new showcase for your new commissioner room, as well as a marijuana 101 if you're interested in the changing in the laws and things
Sheriff's
like that.
Department's gonna put that on?
Yes.
So, is there anything else we would need about the, as far as the hemp?
The one that's on the, do you want to talk about that really quick?
Oh, okay, I see it's down here. No, that's okay.
Are you sure? Okay. So that's going on. I am going to invite the Planning Commission to attend that. And then Melissa suggested department heads.
If anybody wants to learn,
Yeah.
we'll just kind of put a little,
You please be there.
The April 24th at 1:30. I just put it in. I can make it.
And basically it's just to tell us that marijuana is legal and what can and
Well,
can't be.
what the, yeah, how many, because I didn't realize until speaking with Sheriff Nowland that there's not only a black market, but there's a gray market. And the gray market is if, you know, you're a medical grower or you're a commercial grower in town and you're growing more than you're supposed, you know, more than you're allowed.
Caregiver, every 6 plants.
So if you're growing more, then you're operating in the gray market.
Gotcha.
If you're growing illegally, then you're operating in the black market. So just to know what those numbers are, because they've changed. So we get a lot of calls about.
how many is too many? Is that what they could ask you?
I think 99, isn't it, for the caregiver? If, as long as you're, or is there a limit?
That's changed.
Oh,
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to do this, because
What time is that? 1:30?
1:30.
We'll
will
put
you
it,
send something?
Yeah.
we will.
I'm just waiting on confirmation from Travis Peck.
But we'll send it out as a calendar invite for people to accept or decline, and we'll do it over there.
Yeah,
It's just that, yeah, it's becoming a big
deal.
thing. I had some people that called wanting to purchase Ismay's and open up shop there. Right there on the
Right on the border.
Yeah.
Good place, yeah.
Yeah.
That
So,
old trading post would be a live place, won't it?
oh man. Yeah, that's a little too close to my neck of the woods. But yeah. So that's been interesting. Just trying to get through that. So hopefully we'll get some clarification and I don't have to fumble
Yeah.
or send everyone on to John, because I'm sure I inundate with him with enough calls.
Yeah.
So.
Gotcha.
Also, I did speak to the Planning Commission about having more than one meeting a month. They're not opposed to that, to hopefully thin down some of our applications. I guess my concern is, that's a lot of workload for me,
Well,
trying to get packets together and
hopefully
things.
we're gonna get somebody to get you in a assistant to start helping relieve your burden and take on some of your load.
Bless you.
Well, yeah, we gotta make sure we get the right one.
You have anything else, Melissa?
I don't, but you know what? While you guys are doing this, maybe I'll go talk to Rob some more as we're trying to deal with this secure road schools versus Title 1, 2, 3, 15, 18, 72, hut, hut, hut,
On the
on the,
SRS money.
so, I'll give you, oops, you probably don't want my email.
Not particularly.
You can have
I've
my
got plenty
email.
of mine.
I think that's yours.
Okay. Perfect.
Swash County has 24 grows in it. The commissioners, about 2 or 3 months ago, tried to do a moratorium on no more grows. Now they're trying to recall them.
They're trying to recall it.
Whoa.
Yeah, because they said it's getting that completely out of hand. That they got 24 grows, and the people that have came in and
What all this
completely destroyed
attractive.
their county.
Yeah.
And because there's too many.
I can see that.
Yeah.
It's like Mexican food
And
restaurant.
so they're like,
Exactly.
well, let's
They're on
just,
every
let's just
corner.
do a moratorium and not have any. And boy, they are
They're
going
catching
crazy.
the devil.
Well, you let him,
Yeah, and
so
you
now
know
you gotta let her, you know. And
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, Jason's having a good time, isn't he?
No, he's not.
Serves him right. Okay.
He said they're buying these houses, so they'll go buy a house, and they'll fill it 2 foot full of dirt, pay $150,000 for it. Fill it 2 foot full of dirt, plant it full of marijuana, grow the marijuana up, and it's worth like $500,000, whatever, depending on the size of the house. And then they'll pick the marijuana and then say, see ya. And then the county is now stuck with the house that's contaminated.
So
It's
they
run
just
because-
walk off and leave it.
No, they just have 2 full of dirt and start irrigating inside the house.
Oh, God. Crazy. All kinds of fun stuff.